It looks like Jack needs to escort these mercenaries back to the police, but Beck is hiding in the car like a superhero dodging bullets. So, Beck embarked on his escape survival marathon, dashing with such speed as though he were participating in a thrilling Olympic event. Beck scampered away with such agility, just like a little mouse frantically fleeing in a tunnel. Susan learned from Beck's mouth that the guy was actually hiding in the house, but he looked as bad as a drunk. Jack told Beck he was played and mentioned that the real deal was happening at the mansion. What a jaw-dropper. Quinn thought his plan was a hit, bobbing his head to the music like he was at a party, while the buyer strutted into the hall. He called Jack to ask what to do. Jack was thinking, this plan better not raise any eyebrows. Since the truck driver was one of Quinn's buddies, it was the perfect disguise, and the truck rolled in like a jackpot. The big guy jumped out and acted like a drama queen, saying the truck was parked wrong and to move it next to the warehouse. What a bit of attitude. Jack opted to let Susan and the crew go first while he tackled the big guy alone. Everyone trusted Jack, he was like Superman. Logically, the big guy should have been knocked out by Jack, but with a big head and thick neck, he was like a little monster standing strong. So, the big guy introduced Jack to the truck door like, we're way too familiar, buddy. The big guy picked Jack up and smashed him onto the truck door like giving him a masterclass on door 101. Even though both were tough guys against a regular person, just a few hits would send them into dreamland. Faced with a big guy way bigger than himself, Jack felt there wasn't much he could do, just hit and hope. As the shovel snapped in the big guy's hands, Jack momentarily froze, totally unprepared. As the fight progressed, Jack began to lose ground, resorting to tricks his eyes glimmered with mischief. The big guy got angrier, and Jack seized the chance to deliver a flying slam, instantly breaking the frame. The big guy woke up first, swiftly tossing the sandbags aside, and immediately found Jack, at which moment a thought suddenly flashed in his mind. He wrapped a metal hook around a chain, caught it around Jack's neck, feeling like he just snagged a big fish. Jack struggled in midair, but the chain was taut like it was giving him a hug, never letting go. The big guy thought victory was his, rushing out to report to Quinn, just in time to see Jack's face turning as red as a tomato. Jack executed an astonishing counterattack, not only managing to place his foot on the beam and escape his predicament successfully, but also discovering a 9-foot-long rake inside the warehouse. Seeing Jack rejuvenate, the big guy could only retreat in vain, faster than a sprinter. Jack wielded the 9-foot rake like a magic staff in battle. To avoid 9 holes in himself, Jack had no choice but to trade blows with the big guy. After a bout of fighting, both tumbled into the sea like they were partaking in the ocean showdown. Jack tried to grab onto the rocks, trying to climb back up like he was an ocean Waterloo. Unfortunately, the big guy yanked him back down. This time, it was like the ocean version of Return to Earth. Jack couldn't just sit and wait. He swiftly countered, delivering the big guy a perfect strike with the rake. Back on land, Jack thought he had dealt with the big guy, only to see the latter reappear like a ghost. Jack dashed forward like he was in the speedy running contest, with the big guy limping right behind him. Just as Jack arrived at the security room, the big guy followed right in, and Jack was about to shoot when the big guy made his move. Jack offered him a taste of the fire extinguisher, and the big guy's reaction was just as if he had absolutely no way to dodge it. Then Jack opened fire on the big guy, but with his physical advantage, the big guy quickly overpowered him. The big guy ultimately put an end to Jack with a single punch, truly marking an exciting exit moment in the boxing championship. Jack headed to the mansion to back Susan. They had all divided their tasks already, while Beck was doing nothing, like a sitting duck. The cabinet was decked out in a white shirt, disguised as a way to blend into the party, like an invisible man. Beck handed Susan a magic key, the door-opening device. She planned to use it to find the big guy, but the operation backfired. Jack got knocked down, and the cabinet blended in with the crowd. What a dramatic scene. This magic key could open any door, and Beck instructed his men on the boys' room to talk about being one step ahead. Here's the phrase: no plan survives contact with the enemy. By the time they arrived, the winds of change swept through. The henchmen arrived at the room, and the door opener was sent forth. It was time to pull out all the stops. Helpless, the henchman pulled out a gun and shot the toilet, like sending bullets to the porcelain throne. But with his old age, he couldn't outlast the door opener and was swiftly knocked aside, surely lost in Wolf's Den. The door opener aimed to finish him, but the henchman had the quick idea to shove the razor into the toilet. The two rushed up the stairs, reacting quickly to the noises, ready to pull a surprise move. Susan finally found a locked room, and when opened, it felt like discovering a treasure. Turns out her informant was indeed inside. No wonder Quinn wanted to hand him over to the buyer. It was simply mind-blowing. Susan thought to take the informant away, but found him drugged, lying curled up in bed, looking like an absolute doofus.